Okay, today we are going to um, download a few parts that have already been made, or you can make them yourself if you want to. The parts that we're going to download are here on my website. So part 1, part 2, and part 3. Um, so when you download them, you'll see them pop up below. Excuse me. Some of you may notice that you can't open it. You have to have Inventor open first. So make sure Inventor's open. And then when you download it, you can see show in folder, so you can see all the things you've downloaded in your downloaded folder. And then you can go to the folder, or you can move it from there into your S drive or wherever you can find it. So download all 3 parts if you want, or if you want to make all 3 parts, it's up to you. We're going to download all 3 parts. And we're also going to download something called the setup IN, which is a drawing file. So if you open that up, if you have Inventor, you should just be able to click on it. Otherwise, you may have to go in and find it. But this is our drawing file. And the things that we downloaded, so here's part 3, I believe. Yep, this is part 3. Part 2, and part 1. So your job is to properly dimension these things. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to follow the instructions that I gave you yesterday. So if you go to My Project Lead the Way and log in and go to 3.4 Introduction to Dimensioning, this walks you through the correct way to dimension and the incorrect way to dimension. So you're going to try to do the correct way for all of these. And ultimately what you're trying to do is make your parts look like these. So this is what part number 1 should look like. Actually, there's a couple mistakes on here, but this is basically what we're going for. Part number 2 should look like this. And part number 3 should look like this. So let's do that. So in Inventor, I'm going to start with part number 1, but we need to go to our setup IN. So you're going to click on base view like we did before, and if it doesn't grab the right one, if you have all 3 parts open, they should be there. So find the one that says part 1. If you're not finding it, if you click the file with the filing or magnifying glass, you should be able to search for it that way. So click OK, and then you can move it. If you want it a little bit bigger, if you double click on the red line and go to a 2:1 scale, that'll make it a little bit bigger. So again, we're trying to recreate the answer key for part 1, so we're trying to do this. So we need to do a top and side view and a projected view. So we're going to go to project and go above and click to the right and upper corner and click, and then you're going to right click, hit create, and that's it. So now we need to dimension things. So we're going to go to annotate, dimension, and we're going to click on from here to here and go down and click OK. And again, if we look at our answer key, we're trying to recreate this. So you see I put it on the wrong side, which is no big deal. We can just take this and oops. Why won't it let me drag you? Oh, you gotta right click again. There we go. So we're going to put this there. But you can see there's multiple that are in the same from the same line. So we could just dimension again. So we could go from here to here and then back up and click OK. And then OK. Or we could do something called baseline. So click baseline, then click here, and you can click all of them at once if you want to. But then you right click, continue, and then left click, and then right click one more time to create. So you could just dimension each one, or you could do baseline, either one. So you're going to do that for all of them, following the rules. So some of the rules we need to follow is that we don't have extra dimensioning lines, and we don't need to, so for example, on this top view, we don't need to dimension from here to here that is 2 inches. That's not necessary because it's already down here. So we can get rid of this one, which is what we'll do. So from this view, all we really need to know is the depth, because that's something we can't see from this one. So we'll dimension from here to here, and that is a view that we don't have yet. So that's why this one over here is not necessary, because we already have this one up here. So the only other information we need is the height from here to here, and we also need the height from here to here. So let's put those in. So we'll dimension from here to here, and from here to here. So some things I want to point out. A correct way to put our dimensions would be to have them the way that it is right now, where the 1 is on the outside and the half is in the middle. If we do this, then our projection lines cross. We do not want to cross projection lines. So we'll leave that where it is. So the kind of the big things to look out for are to make sure that you don't have too many, and that we can minimize line crossing where possible. And of course there's 16 different rules, and we will try to adhere to as many as we can, but we'll try to stick with the most common or the most important ones at the beginning. So once you have it, you're going to save this one. So do File, Save As. So you're going to do your last name underscore, this is 3.4 underscore, and then part 1. And then save this to your file, so your S drive, and project lead the way. This is unit 3, and save. Okay, so then ignore this. Okay, so we need to open up the IN, the setup IN again. So you can either download it again, or wherever you have it saved, click open. So we're going to hit base view, but we need to switch parts, so we're going to go to part 2, hit OK. We're going to make it a little bit bigger, so double click, scale, and then we need to project. So project up, side, over, and then right click, create, and there we go. So again, we're going to follow the rules, and we're trying to make our picture look like this one. Oops. So these are the dimensions. So I'll remind you how to do a center line. So let's add that first. So we're going to go to annotate, bullseye as the center line, put a bullseye in the center. Let's do baseline. So we'll hit a baseline from here to here to here. Right click, continue, left click, and then right click one more time and create. We'll dimension, and so if we look at either of these views, one of these views actually isn't necessary. So we should probably, a true dimensioned object would only have one view, because we don't need both views. So we only need to dimension one. So let's do this one. And let's compare to our answer key. So the only other things that we're missing are how to get the center point, and what else are we missing? So I have 1 on either side, which is a mistake because that is a redundant measurement. So we only need one more thing. So we'll do from here to here, and click OK. Oops. Here to here, left click, OK, and make it a little bit closer. And that one's done. So again, we'll do same thing. Last name, 3.4, and part 2. The last one, we're going to do part 3. And we'll project, right click, create. Let's move this one a little bit more that way. So for this one, our main goal, we're going to be annotating this one. All the information that we need is from here. We don't need this top view. We really only need these two views to get a full appreciation for what this is. So we need to dimension the sizes of these, and then we also need to dimension so they're basically their height and their depth. So we're going to go to annotate, baseline, and we're going to baseline measurement from here to here to here. And I think I have too many lines in there. We only need, yeah, let's go back. Let's get rid of these. We're going to delete these. So let's do dimension from here to here. Okay, and then dimension from here to here. And then dimension from here to here. Okay, so you can kind of see a problem. This looks like it could be a 9-digit number. So what we want to do is right click and click OK, and then we want to move that 1.5 up. And same thing with this 2.25, we want to move that down, and this 3 move up a little bit so that it's clearly 3 different numbers. Then we're also going to measure from here to here. Let's try that one more time. Okay. And this one actually would be good to do a baseline. So let's delete this one. Let's do baseline. We'll do from here to here to here to here. Right click, continue, left click, and then right click again to create. And that is it. So that is your goal for today, and if you don't finish today, you'll have to finish on Thursday. So again, do save as and last name underscore 3.4 and part 3. Okay, I'll see you guys Thursday.